Hey, what's going on? Luke here, and right now it'd be very convenient if I actually owned a sombrero. I don't know how often that would start a video, especially talking about rugby league, but it's the start of today's video, because today's video is going to be talking about Dom Young, probably, possibly, potentially, may have already signed with the Sydney Roosters. Now, it's been talked about a little bit for the last couple of months, but where's Dom Young going to go? He had a breakout season last year, obviously went to the World Cup with England, became an international, which fits every single criteria to sign with the Roosters. So, naturally, he has signed with the Roosters, apparently. Leaving the Knights, come over for an opportunity, plays one half-decent season, and he's going to leave to go to bigger and better things at the Roosters, potentially win a comp, and join the rest of the internationals in the sombrero squad. So, yeah, look, I sound kind of bitter here. I'm more disappointed for Knights fans because, like I said, they have developed this guy. The very first time I saw Dom Young play, I thought he was absolutely diabolical. Obviously, looked a physical prowess. Couldn't catch a cold. Absolutely terrible. Obviously, he's progressed and he's turned into quite a decent winger. And I will say this is definitely it does show in terms of salary cap, in terms of it's not exactly spread out between some of the sides, but it also shows you the incompetence of a team like the Knights, where they have put a lot of money in a guy like Kalyn Ponga. They don't even know his position. Is he a fullback? Is he a 5'8"? Is he a injured player? Like, what is Kalyn Ponga to the Knights? I don't know. He's their captain. He's a guy who spends more time on the sidelines than he does on the field. But that just shows you, like, they prioritise players. They have no problem forking out money for a guy like Dom Young. They just won't do it for Dom Young. I don't understand it. Guy's super young, super talented. You throw the book at him, you keep him. You need to keep a guy like Dom Young, even just to keep the fans happy. I can see the fans going to be blowing up about this one. I know it sounds stupid because, end of the day, he's just a winger. Like, that's the big thing. Oh, he's just a winger. But these days, wingers are so important in the NRL. Gone are the days where your wingers were just the fast dudes on the wing. No, they are so important to defence. Obviously, finishing tries. They finish tries that they probably shouldn't finish. You know what I mean? Give them half a chance. 9 times out of 10, they seem to finish it these days. And Dom Young is one of the best finishers in the comp. Super quick. We saw on the weekend how fast he is. They just did a random kick downfield and he got there first. Keep in mind, he did drop it over the line, which kind of represents Dom Young a little bit hot and cold, but he is super young, and I think he's definitely going to flourish in that Roosters system. I mean, how can he not? I mean, the backline, if the Roosters don't lose any significant sort of players, going through their side, I'm pretty sure like 11 of the 13 players are all the representatives of Australia, New Zealand, or England. So we're not going to like cherry pick and, some other sides you could be like, oh, well, look at all the internationals they got. They play for Fiji. And it's like, yeah, but it's not the same. It's not the same, is it? Like, it's, them playing for Lebanon or something is not the same as them playing for Australia. Yes, they're internationals, but just different calibers. There's a reason there's a tier, there's like tiers lists in terms of like international sides. So, look, the back line is going to be Tedesco, Suoli, Joe Manu, Dom Young, Daniel Tupou. I don't know if I'm missing anyone. Kiri used to play for New South Wales. Sam Walker, future Queensland representative, you would imagine. I mean, their front line, the front row is stacked, the back row is stacked. Just signed Brandon Smith. Their signing spree continues for the Roosters. It always does. Like, when there's a couple down years for them, which there has been, they always go out and make a big signing. And they just continue that with Dom Young. Should it happen? I mean, I'm talking like it's a fact. I think it might be a fact. I don't know if it is 100% a fact, but it's looking very likely that at least he's going to leave the Knights. And look, I can't blame him for leaving the Knights, if I'm being totally honest with you. They haven't really progressed. I think they've regressed. I don't particularly like the coach. Even in terms of their side, like I just said, they put a whole bunch of money in a guy like Kalyn Ponga, and now they're moving positions and trying to work the side around what to do with him, because they just put so much money, so much of their cap into one guy who's barely playing. He's barely on the field. He's their captain, but he's doing some dumb shit off the field. Even down to, like, he won't even admit that he was in there doing some dirty stuff in the toilet. So, Knights definitely in shambles at the moment, in disarray. Roosters going from strength to strength yet again. Would have been nice to see him sign with another club? Yes, but I mean, like, what other clubs really... Like, Roosters don't really need a winger, but also, like, what other clubs are, like, screaming out for a winger? You know what I mean? So, maybe it was a case where, maybe it was just the Roosters and the Knights. And, like, realistically, I'm going to pick the Roosters. You know what I mean? I'm going to go win a comp. Especially because he's so young. I suppose in his head, he's like, I can go get a payday later on. I can go win a premiership. I can get experience. I can become one of those top-tier players. And, look, I don't want to say the Roosters look after players after they're finished, but Brandon Smith basically confirmed it. Mark Boris has confirmed it pretty much as well. I think even some Mundine's just come out and said that he got paid under under the table by the Broncos. So like Broncos, Roosters very, very similar in that regards. At least back then where, they're going to look after you. Even if you're on the books, you're on a certain fee, you're probably not on that certain fee. So, look, I'm kind of like talking about speculation at the moment. I'd rather not do that. I mean, we kind of already know the gist of the Roosters and the salary cap and joked about by all other players. But it's just crazy that they've gone and signed yet again another international player. And like this could not happen. Maybe it won't. I don't know. But realistically, that, yes, they've got guys like Momorowski and they just signed like Corey Allen and all that sort of stuff. But I just went through that back line with Dom Young in it. It's find one better. Find one better, even on paper, maybe even in the history of the NRL. Like, find a team that is as stacked as what the Roosters are. Now, it doesn't always produce results. Kind of reminds me of like Real Madrid back in the day, signing all the best players. Will it translate on the field? I don't know. But in terms of a good lineup on paper, if you're playing Rugby League Live 4, you're going to be playing, or hopefully Rugby League Live 5, you're going to be picking the Roosters. Like, they're the team that you want to play as because, like I said, they are stacked. Like, even Penrith, as good as they've been for the last couple of years, I know they just lost in the World Club Challenge, but they're losing players. Find a time when Roosters have lost a significant amount of players, or any like super big name players. Tuivasa-Sheck, yeah, but they let him go and they signed Tedesco as his replacement. So is that a loss or is that an improvement? I'd say that's an improvement. It sounds crazy to say losing Tuivasa-Sheck, but ended up signing Tedesco in the end. So yeah, like the Roosters looking very, very good for 2023, even 2024 with Dom Young in it, looking even stronger. I'm trying to think of like other clubs that were linked to Dom Young. I think the Bulldogs were at one point, but like I sort of didn't really understand that one. Same goes for I think maybe Tigers. Feels like they're kind of just chucking in random teams, probably the Dolphins as well, like all those sort of ones. But look, ultimately he's ended up at the Roosters by the looks of things, and it's definitely a huge loss for the Knights. Like I said, he is a winger, but he is a guy that they've produced. He's only been there a couple of years. He's come from England. But he's someone that they brought through the ranks in terms of the NRL system. So, look, another guy lost from the Knights. Their team's not looking exactly too flash this year. They signed Lockie Miller, but, Adam Elliott, Jack Hetherington. Like, they've signed some okay players, but in terms of where they are in previous years to this year, I don't think they look particularly better on paper by any means. They lost Clemmer. I don't really know where the Knights go, especially with the coach that they've got. So, yeah, losing Dom Young definitely isn't going to help. Finally have like a shining light in the side, and then he goes and leaves straight away. So, look, good stuff. Roosters signing in. Congratulations. Knights, commiserations. But, guys, I'm going to wrap things up here. Hopefully you did enjoy that one. Hopefully you can go ahead and leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Also, make sure to use the notification bell. Don't rely on the sub boxes. Use the notification bell and never miss any of my videos. Also, way out to go ahead and chuck me a follow on social media. It's on the screen right now. It's Mr. Luke and YT for the most part. My Facebook's Mr. Luke, but everything else, including Snapchat, including TikTok. I'm usually the most active on Instagram probably, so go ahead and give me a follow on that. It's Mr. Luke and YT. And guys, become a member of the channel as well. Really supports the channel, really helps out the channel, especially now the NRL season is coming up. So, going to be doing a lot more member-based things, so definitely become a member. Link is in the description below, or you can just click on click on the channel part, and there should be a part for members. So go ahead and do that. And guys, I'm going to wrap things up here. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. See yous.